It's a very simple question. Did you tell the FBI in this meeting, did someone in this meeting tell the FBI that Ken Paxton had illegally disclosed some confidential information to someone? Yes or no?
In the meeting, we alleged, based on a reasonable belief, that that activity could have occurred, but we were not investigators. That was what law enforcement was for.
That's right. And Mr. Vassar, I want to see us on this point. You're a lawyer and you're doing some, you have very good command of the language. You had a good faith belief in certain information, but you didn't know that Ken Paxton had disclosed anything to anyone when you made this report to the FBI, did you?
No.
You were hoping the FBI would sort it out for you and not think that you were co-conspirators with him, correct?
No. The purpose of the complaint to the FBI was because we had formed a belief in good faith that the Attorney General was involved in criminal activity.
This is something that I keep hearing over and over again. Formed a good faith belief that the Attorney General of this state was engaged in illegal activity. Did I say that right?
That's accurate.
But you didn't know, right?
Well,
you didn't know, right?
That's the point of the good faith belief, is we had no evidence that we could point to, but we had reasonable conclusions that we could draw.
You went to the FBI and reported the Attorney General of this state with no evidence. Do I have that correct?
We reported the facts to the FBI.
That's not my question. You had no evidence that Ken Paxton had done anything illegal. I want to get this straight. You went to the FBI on September 30th with your compatriots and reported the elected Attorney General of this state for a crime without any evidence. Yes?
That's right. We took no evidence.
Did you gain any after that? Did you gain any after that?
Well, we weren't collecting evidence.
Did you gain any after that?
Evidence of what, sir?
Evidence of a crime committed by the elected Attorney General in this state, elected by over 4 million voters. That guy.
I don't recall if we had collected any evidence.
Don't you think that's something that you should be able to recall, sir?
Well, when we presented ourselves to the FBI, we did so as witnesses, not as investigators to collect evidence.
Did so as complainants, hoping that you would not be named as co-conspirators, true? You made a complaint, yes?
Yes, it was.
Without any evidence, yes?
No.
I'm sorry?
Again, these are our good faith beliefs that a crime had occurred.
Respectfully, sir, we are not here in this historic event for your good faith beliefs. But you don't know whether those properties belong to Nate Paul or business entities controlled by Nate Paul, do you? You don't know that?
Nothing other than what's been reported in the media.
You don't know that what's been reported in the media? Have you ever heard the phrase self-licking ice cream cone before?
No, sir.
Let me explain to you what a self-licking ice cream cone is, Mr. Vassar. A self-licking ice cream cone is when a bunch of employees at the Attorney General's office begin to suspect their boss. They read it in the media. They believe what the media says. They report it to the FBI. And then the media reports that you went to the FBI. That's a self-licking ice cream cone. Are you familiar with the expression now?
Based on your description, yes, sir.
You don't know whether this article is true or false, do you?
No, sir. I didn't write this.
Wouldn't you expect the Office of the Attorney General to investigate your use of your office email to send secret grand jury subpoenas to that man, Johnny Sutton, and then delete the email? Wouldn't you expect to be investigated for that? Yes or no?
No, not necessarily.
Okay. Wouldn't you expect to be fired for that?
No.
Wouldn't you expect to be fired for reporting your boss to the FBI without any evidence?
No, I would expect an opportunity to answer questions based on answers that I was provided when I asked, what documents are you alleging that I disclosed? And when no response was given, I couldn't give any further information about who the messages may have gone to or for what purpose.
So when Ken Paxton asked for the file, you gave him the file, right?
Yes, sir.
And he had every right to ask for that, yes?
Yes,
If he just felt like looking at it, he could ask for it, yes?
that's right.
And irregardless of his feelings about Nate Paul and whether he was unjustly being railroaded or the feds are mistreating him, he had every right to look at it, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
And you don't know that Ken Paxton did anything illicit with that file, do you?
No, sir, I don't.
You're not here to testify about any of that, are you?
No.
In fact, when Ken Paxton had this meeting with you about the file, he told you that he had spoken to Nate Paul. He didn't hide that, did he?
No, sir.
He told you he would believe that Nate Paul was being railroaded just like he has been, yes?
Yes, sir.
He told you he didn't trust DPS or the feds, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
And he didn't hide that, did he?
Not in that meeting.
Do you, by the way? Do you trust the feds? Trust the FBI?
Yes, I have no reason not to. I trust law enforcement and our peace officers.
You can't think of one reason in the last 3 or 4 years not to trust the FBI?
I'm speaking mainly personally.
Ken Paxton told you he didn't want to use his office to help the feds in any way, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
He didn't hide that from you, did he?
No, sir.
And when you were discussing the ruling, what I'll call the no decision ruling on the big request, you reached an impasse where each side made its case, and he's the boss, right? Yes?
Yes, sir.